Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. We are back here live on the Zoomcast and podcast again with John Riggio, our friend and architect, and of course, CEO of his own company. It's John Riggio. That's spelled JohnRiggio.com from a touch of New Jersey, but of course, he can work with you almost anywhere. He's back with us today. How are you?
Good. Hi, Jill. How are you?
I'm great. It's been so many months. We used to talk, and it's a pleasure to have you back here and to see you face to face. Please, let's introduce yourself to our listeners.
Yes, I'm John Riggio, and I am the CEO of John Riggio, RA Architect. And yes, this is one of a number of videos we're making. And so I've been talking about my architect office and things like that. And so today I have a number of things that we could talk about.
Perfect.
Um, I think one we can see today is I can give you a little preview of a video of one of my
Sure.
projects that we made with podcast, and I've been showing it to a lot of my clients recently, and it has worked pretty good to get the idea to my clients. They watch the video and they can really see the kind of house that they can build and things like that. And I've been doing that. And then I think a couple other things was I have a meetup group that I've made for people interested in architect work, building permits, things like that. And that has grown to 600 members now. So it's a lot of people have been signing on. That's here in the New York City metro area. And I was gonna talk about some other things, some current design ideas, things like that, things about my office, and I think we could discuss those things today.
Beautiful. I would love to. Absolutely. And you also do historic renovations and restorations. There's so much to you. Did you want to start off by sharing the video?
Yes, let's see if we can come on here and share the screen. Okay,
Sure.
let's just turn on this YouTube. So let's see if it's coming up. Okay, there it is.
All right. And here comes the shared screen.
Are you able to see the screen? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay. Let's rewind it and make sure the volume's on.
Okay, I don't know if you
Perfect.
could hear the video.
Nope, not yet. Hold on. Let's back it up to the beginning and hopefully we can. Whoa. Okay, hold on. It says the volume's up. I don't hear it. Do you?
No, I don't hear the volume here. Let me see if I can get the volume going.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, you should be able to share the audio should pop up. It should definitely work. So you're not hearing it either on your end?
No, I don't hear any
Okay.
sound, but if you look at the video,
So yeah, do you want to start?
I think it's good that you could just see through the video. I think
You could talk over it. Go ahead. You can.
yes. So from here, the video starts here, my office.
Beautiful.
I give introduction to my office here,
Which, by
and
the
then
way, is in Metuchen, New Jersey. And how many years you been in practice for?
oh, I've been there for about like 39
You don't look old enough.
years. Yes.
That's that's awesome.
Since like yeah, I think officially I've been licensed for 34 years now, and I've been have my own office since that time. Also, I started my office at the time I became licensed, and so this video is really showing a piece of my office here. I give a description of my work, and then from here I show my web page.
Mm-hmm. Which we established, johnriggio.com, JohnRiggio.com for those of you on the podcast.
Then from there, I go over and I show where my office is.
Perfect.
Then I go through just a sample of my
Ah,
drawings that are printed out. And this is for the particular project that we are visiting on the video here. So this one, I go through each drawing, just give a basic idea of what the house is all about on this one. This
hmm.
particular house has some of the newest technology. It has the superior wall foundations, and it's a very nice house. It's very large. It's approximately 5,000 square feet in total, and has a full cellar too that is extra square footage. So that's like
Wow.
7,500 square feet.
And this is in what part of New Jersey?
It's in Edison, New Jersey.
Okay.
Which is located in the central New Jersey
Hmm.
area. Now, my office location is in Metuchen. It's in the borough of Metuchen. Borough of Metuchen is located right in the middle of Edison. It is centered right in the middle. So I work in these areas here. And so this is showing the drawings.
Now, is this specific to each room since I can't, it's showing,
Yes, right
wow.
now I'm showing the elevations.
Okay.
And this is showing the different pages of the set of drawings, the details, showing the sections of the house,
Now, from start,
showing all
from
kinds of things on this.
when the homeowner came to you, how long is the process to go over and design all this? That's a lot of work. Did they come to you
Yes,
with an idea or did they give you permission to just build and draw, you know?
yes, of course they did have an idea because they saw other houses in the area,
Okay.
and so we went over the design. It took us a number of meetings. They had to come here to my office, and we went over the design a number of times, maybe five, six times, until we really finalized the design. Then after that, I finished the construction drawings, and that's the set of drawings I'm showing here on the video. So that gives all the information necessary for the permit. Now this is showing a little preview of the front of the house. I'm going through the house now, and I think on this house came out very nice and has a lot of nice features. It has a double curved stairs entrance. That is one thing about it. Right here, I'm showing these very heavy front doors. They're like iron doors, and that is another feature of this house. And then I think here is showing that the house has that double curved stair, showing the latest technology in the construction, showing the Versalam beams of the I joists. And then as far as the construction, standard wood frame construction, it's construction of 2x6s instead of 2x4s because of the height of the ceilings. And it's such a large house that the house is constructed of 2x6s instead of a 2x4s. And I think in here, this is during construction, so it shows like all the different things. You see the wallboard there, it has the back insulation,
Wow.
and it shows here the people working on the house at the time when I'm doing
Amazing.
the walkthrough. Shows a lot of things here of the double height space. So it shows the wood construction of the double height space, and there's insulation there. It shows the window
Wow.
placement.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, so this is going
And
through all the different things.
and
So
you mentioned before something about the new type construction, new type wall. What was that exactly? What type of walls are you using here?
that is the superior walls. In this video, I make a little walkthrough of the basement. It shows the superior walls. I will show you on the video here. So this video goes through for 20 minutes. Okay, we're 8 minutes
Wow.
into the video right now. So over in this area, I quickly go through the house, showing the kitchen area has the sliding doors. Now the sliding doors exit onto a wood deck. Since this
Mm,
is in construction, it's not fully finished to really walk out onto the wood deck. But this here shows
wow.
the kitchen area. And I have some finished pictures. We'll just quickly look at showing the finished product of the house. I think there's still some final pictures I have to get shown. But this here, I'm showing the dining room. It goes from the formal living room to the dining room to the kitchen, and then the that large double height space is really like a family room. Then there's also another family room on the right side of the house that is really like
Wow. Now,
for
I'm
video, like a
seeing the
video room.
insulation. You keep mentioning insulation. Is insulation better than it was? My house is 22 years old and it's freezing in the winter, and people are saying it's not your windows, but I think it is. They said it's your insulation is poor. Is that possible? They're making better insulation now?
Yeah, the old installation wasn't nearly as good. The new installation, they have improved it. They have a new type of installation, like super bad insulation. So like instead of for a 2x4 wall, I think most people used to an R13. Now they have an R15 for that same thickness. Just recently they
Mm.
have a new ceiling insulation for 8-inch ceiling. They now have an R30 bat insulation that is also a much better insulation for the size of an 8-inch, so it is also good. And for these exterior walls, we're using a R19 on this size, a 2x6 for a 6-inch bat insulation. So
And
that
R meaning what for in layman's term for someone like me? You the higher R number. What is it?
the higher R, the more insulation.
Higher R. Okay.
The R numbers is like if you look at insulation, a lot of times you might see what they call U value. R is really the reciprocal of the U value. That's how they make it. That has to do with all like little factors of the
Wow.
material of how the
Okay.
cold would go through
Uh-huh.
to the warm air, and
So this
that's
is
how they get.
R19 you're using. What did you say I probably had from
Yes.
22 years ago? What type of R factor? What are we talking about back then?
Yeah,
R.
the artifact is they were a lot less. I think they used to use a lot of loose insulation in the past and things like that, and the art insulation wasn't nearly as good. So they did make some small improvements in the art insulation, so it's a little bit better.
Interesting.
And okay, so on this part of the video, going through, and this is the second floor. And now I'm gonna walk out onto the balcony from the master bedroom that walks out, and you can see here, it's looking at the backyard,
Wow.
and there's
Wait,
the
so the
yard. Now
outside
that
or
that whole yard, we went through this. We had to regrade the whole yard. It's
oh my
completely
goodness.
improved yard. We got rid of the water draining across the property. It's all draining away from the house, and
There's
now
siding
that's
already on it then on some parts of it?
yes. Oh yeah, the whole house
Or
has
is
the basic siding on there.
okay.
The house was nearly finished at this part of the video. They were just putting the finishing walls on,
Got it.
and after that they finished with the railings, things like that, and then they're going to put the final touches on the exterior, the front of the house with some stonework, and that's about it. So it's the house is nearly finished, and I think
Amazing.
the video is pretty good to show during construction because you can see the materials. It shows
Yeah.
all of the new materials, the different things like the eye joists and
Yep. And I just saw the reflection of the house on the other side in the window. Beautiful home.
yes, yes. This house is a brand new house. There were already a house on each adjacent property.
hmm Yeah, I could see one right there.
Now this, let me see if I can move ahead on this. This one, now this is in the front of the house. This is showing the balcony on the entrance side where the driveway is.
hmm
And let's see what we have here. This here, we're going over to the two bedrooms.
hmm
And I think this is just a basic bedroom. It has one thing about it, each bedroom has its own balcony,
Oh my
and
goodness.
they have their own bathroom and closet.
Wow. This is beautiful. Amazing how everything gets done.
Okay, so I think in there this is doesn't have all the finishes. Okay, so
Okay.
now this here will
Sheetrock.
yes. Okay,
That's the
this
attic up there?
no, this is the this is ceiling. It has a skylight.
Oh, is that a skylight? Okay, I thought that was an
Yes.
entrance to an attic.
There's a skylight in the bedroom. And now I'm walking through, and now we're gonna go take a look at the superior wall foundations. And I think this video, you can see this superior wall foundations, what I was describing before,
Okay,
was
yeah,
made
let
of
me see.
concrete with metal structure in there. It's like a sandwich, and it has insulation, and it's showing the different insulation that's on there. Each superior wall, they have um, a different set of concrete with insulation, and that is the wall there. And it works similar to a conventional foundation wall. The only difference, it doesn't really have the same kind of footing. It uses
Mm-hmm.
a gravel base, and it does have the standard poured concrete floor slab.
Wow.
And then I think on this, it's showing here the I joists resting on the foundation, and then it goes across to a large beam. And I'm showing there a large Versalam beam in the middle with columns. So this is showing that this part of the wall that's curved on the corner of the house. So they could do any kind of shape with that kind of foundation. And this is showing the standard structure of the
That's all
house.
the plumbing. That's the sewage, those plumbing back. That's the
This house is
plumbing.
very large.
Is that
Yes,
all the plumbing that those white pipes? What do we
yes,
call
that's correct.
those?
This is the PVC plumbing.
Okay. And that's for your water and for your waste.
Yeah, that provides all the basic things. And I think in here, I'm going to show there that has the
Oh my
mechanical systems, high
goodness.
efficiency mechanical systems. There's no chimney in this house. Everything vents right to the outside air. And that's
All those
the
wires
new
and
way of
electric.
really
Oh
having
my
your high efficiency
gosh.
units.
It's amazing.
So we're on this video, walking over and taking a look at the mechanical unit. Taking a look at this, the hot water heater. Now the hot water heater, I think it looks like a standard hot water heater, but it's really high efficiency. It's venting out to the outside air.
Wow.
I was at an education seminar recently, and they told me why the that type of unit is really high efficiency, and it's because they have now made it where the piping inside the hot water heater, instead of it going from bottom to top, it's going from top to bottom and bottom to top. So it's not wasting any heat in the same type of water tank. The whole water tank is very similar to the previous type of hot water heater, just it is made more efficient. That's really very simply all that really is. By doing
Mm-hmm.
that, they save so much energy that they don't need a chimney. You could just vent right to the outside air, and you can have fresh air come
Oh,
in
now I
to
could see.
fuel the unit. Okay, so this is the back of the house,
Got it.
and it shows the nice shape of
That's
the
beautiful.
family room and
It's
everything.
wow. That is beautiful. And you mentioned
But
balconies on every bedroom. So is that a bedroom to the left and to the right up on top?
yes, the children's bedroom to the left side has a balcony, and to the right side, the outdoor area is really considered a terrace because it's
So
over
is
the
that the
eating area in the
master?
kitchen. Correct, that's the master bedroom.
Nice. And what is the extension to to your right, my left? Is that like the garage there or what is
Yes, that's correct. This is a two-car garage,
okay,
and I'm gonna take a quick walk around. I think this shows the whole house there, gives a good idea of the massing in the house.
good.
It has skylights there you can see on top of the family room. It's a
Hmm.
two-story family room, so there's a lot of light coming in here. And a lot of these things are really from input from the client. We're going over some ideas, current trends, things like that. And that's how this whole thing's put together. And this whole thing with the garage
Now,
is
is it
spaced
siding all
inside.
around or is the back like stucco or the siding's not on
The
it yet?
front has the drive-it stucco. I'm going to walk to the front of the
Okay.
house very shortly. The rest of the house has just a standard vinyl siding, and the front has the the drive is stucco. It's going to have stone trim on it too. Just this was during construction.
Wow, and this is a brand new lot they
The
excavated like
lot was
or
existing. The whole existing
oh,
house was completely demolished. All the
okay.
foundations were ripped out of the ground. And they had some problems with some water in the back of the property. We had to correct everything, regrading the whole property.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is showing the
Wow.
front
Let me see the
with the
front.
stucco,
Oh,
and
wow.
there's some nice details on there. They're gonna
I
put some stone on the
love
bottom.
the round. What do we call the round corner? The round look like that with the windows.
Yes,
What is
yes,
that
it's
called?
like a turret of some kind.
Yes,
It's
that
like
is
a,
beautiful.
and this is okay. Now this is showing the
Oh,
final finished photo, so you get the idea of a few weeks ahead. See the nice railings they put in with the
oh my
chandelier and
gosh.
everything. So
Beautiful.
it's
Yes.
finished really good. Those were
Beautiful.
custom made stairs. They had to make them in a factory and bring them over and install them. And this is the bathroom. It's very nice. This is the new freestanding toilet bath on the left that I've been describing,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a new style sink on the right side, a 6 foot wide sink.
Oh, that makes so much more sense.
And this is the family room with the chandelier in the rear of the house. It's showing the finished product of the windows there, and this is
Oh my
showing the
goodness.
entrance
Beautiful.
with the chandelier, the window.
So the staircase is on both sides. It comes up.
Yes.
Like,
Now this is the front of the
oh
house, but
wow.
it isn't 100% finished there. They're gonna put the railings and the stonework on to just to finish it. And you see that curved steps I
Yeah.
designed for them in that. It has steps to the side and curved steps in the front with it.
What type of stones did you use?
Yes, we're using thin stones. So I think in here, if I was just to show this, let me just show this and just pause it for a minute. You see the circular driveway here
Yeah.
and these trees. These trees are code requirements for the township.
You have to
And
put a certain amount of trees in the front of your
yes,
property?
yes, correct. They
Oh
have
my,
two shade trees, and we have this is a new sidewalks and new curbs, and this is the curved entrance with the steps on each side.
yeah.
So it came out pretty good. And of course, on this, they're gonna put the same kind of railings on and some stonework.
And there's now what's in the front there? That's up the stairs. You can go out the two doors to the front balcony too?
What happens is, yes, you can, there's two doors on each side of that curved stairs. You
Mm-hmm.
walk around the outside of them, and then you could open the door and walk onto the balcony that's on the front of the house.
Oh wow.
And the house, like a whole little area, you could walk there, sit down there if you like, and there's railings are going to go right in front of here, the columns. And over
Beautiful.
here in the front, there's gonna have a railing on each side. And then you can see this has a paver driveway.
Mm-hmm.
So this, they went with a really nice paver driveway, and it looks really good. And I think you can see the massing of this house next to the adjacent
Yeah.
house, similar size type of house. The previous house was a much smaller one-story house. It's completely removed, foundations are removed, and this is a brand new house that's there. So that's that whole thing there. So let me just close this. Let's exit
Blows my
here.
mind how someone comes in and could rip all that up, let alone somebody to build something like that from start to finish. Whoa. Whoa.
Yes.
Wow. So with the architect, as the architect, you are now you work side by side with the general contractor. Is there a project manager that you who's doing all the building, who's supplying all the material? You as the
Yes,
architect.
there is a contractor on the project,
Okay.
and I worked well with the contractors. And it was so whenever they had any question, I would go down there, talk with the contractor, and if I would tell them any information they know on constructing the house, and that's usually how it works.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. All right. At this time, John, we're going to take our break. Remind us of all the ways we could reach you, please.
Okay. All right.
Website, phone number,
Oh
any
yes,
social media pages.
the best way to find me is just to go to my webpage. It's www.JOHNRIGGIO.com. That is www.johnriggio.com. You can go there and you find samples of my work, description of the projects that I can help you with, and you can contact me by email or on the telephone. I have all my contact information on the website, so you can go there and find out all about my office and contact me for your new project.
Great. Thank you so much, John. We'll be right back with more. Don't go anywhere.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We are joined once again by architect John Riggio here. Amazing. Getting to see him in action and the work, the start to the finish, from the plans to actually walking around a home that he recently designed in New Jersey. So thank you for that, John. All right. What is next in store for you for our listeners and viewers today?
Yes, well, I think since we watched that house, I was going to just make a comment about some design trends going on.
Sure.
And I think the house is really like the start of the new trends that are starting to go around. And that is a trend of really having more of like a stucco finish on the house and having some simple details around the windows. And that is really what is starting to change with the designs.
Like the one that we just saw, that light stucco front? Is there
Yes.
certain colors that we're seeing?
Yes, I think some of the trend is also heading more to even a white stucco on some of the houses.
I
So,
remember that 20 something years ago. Stucco started becoming popular. Then I thought it went out of style. So now it's back.
yes, that style is slowly seems to be returning on a number of the houses, and that's just sort of like a current design trend that's taking place.
And can I just ask you about the maintenance on stucco compared to like a vinyl siding? What is the maintenance process?
Well, this stucco, it's really called Drive It, Exterior Insulation Finish System, EIFS. And this is a much improved stucco compared to the old-fashioned stucco on the lap. They used to use metal lap, but this is much improved. It's has like 3 inches of insulation, and then they put in 3 coats over a fiberglass type mesh, and it works very good. I think originally those systems, they had to really work out how they put the insulation on, but today they have a new system of these exterior finish systems being certified, and the company that installs them, they have to have a certificate. So these type of finish systems, they last a long time. They don't seem to crack at all, and I think working on these jobs, I think for like maybe 10-20 years, I haven't seen too many problems with them. I think every once in a while there might be a bad storm where a little piece of it might come off, but they seem to have lasted a long time. They works very good. So this type of the Drive It is really a company brand name. It's called Drive It, and really the system is called EIFS, Exterior Insulation Finish System. So that is the new type of exterior finish. And I think most people would just look at that, you would just say stucco finish, because the finish is really made to look exactly like old-fashioned stucco, and you painted the similar colors. A lot of times it's tan, gray, or white, and so it's a very similar type of system. It's just much improved. It seems to work pretty good, and it helps out with the energy codes too, because to have the house meet the energy codes, you need to have always some extra insulation. So this type of system helps the house meet the energy code, and you can get some extra windows added onto that too by having that extra 3 inches of insulation. So that's how it works pretty good.
Awesome. Wow. Okay. So that's the trend. And then what about you mentioned around the windows, the decor? What is the decor looking like?
Yeah, I think we have some nice details on this particular house, and I think the new trend is just the same type of idea, a very simple trend. Some of the exterior finishes, the details could get large. Some houses I would specify maybe a detailed, maybe even 6 inches around windows or more. And some windows these days we seem to be keeping them to a smaller dimension, so they're having a nice like simple look around the windows. That's really how it's looking.
Wow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. What other trends? I thought, tell me if this is a trend or not. Where I live now, I live on Long Island in a place called Holtsville. It's a old community, about 22 years old, not so old, but we have mostly vinyl sided houses and basic windows at this point. It needs a renovation on the exterior, but I'm noticing the trend. There's been a few houses that have been redone in the neighborhood, and instead of the white vinyl windows now, the look is going for the brown or black window frame instead of the white vinyl. They're using black, or is it aluminum? And then they're still bordering in like the white vinyl, but the window itself, I see a lot of dark windows.
Yes, I have a few of those. I think on this house, the only real dark frame is those entrance doors that were really the black iron entrance doors. Yes, on a few houses, I have the dark windows, either the dark brown windows or the black windows. I think on my portfolio, I have my web page. It shows some houses that have the brown windows, and I have some with the black windows too.
Wow. So what are they called? What are they made out of?
A lot of, they're the same. They're just vinyl. They just make them in different colors. Exact same vinyl windows, vinyl clad windows, and they make them in different colors, and that's how they put them on. And a lot of it has to do with the color scheme in the house. Some trends recently, there are some houses we were going with were really like a gray color, gray drive it or gray siding, and some of those have black framed windows. So it depends on really the trend. A lot of the trends are also coming through the supply stores. A lot of these things are coming through the supply stores, through the window suppliers. It could even be based on some prices of how much they're costing. Maybe they're getting
Yeah.
good deals. A lot of times that happens. So a lot of these different trends, a lot of the materials, they do come from the supply stores with whoever the manufacturers are supplying the stores with certain type of materials. The contractors are buying them, the owners sometimes are shopping around for the prices. And a lot of times that is what is starting to get put on the houses. So that helps with the design trends. So if they run out of certain materials, they might end up starting to use another material. Maybe it comes in a different color and ends up going on the houses, and this starts different trends. So that is also really how a lot of these trends are really starting to happen. It's going through the different factors, what's available at the supply store, what the pricing is, and things like that.
Got it. Wow. And also speaking of trends, my question, and we talked about this a while ago, but since COVID and the pandemic hit, I feel like kitchens are bigger, right? I personally, I have a 6 and 8 year old, so I don't even have a dining room. It used to be a dining room, but it'd be nice if the wall was open. It's a toy room. But I feel like one day, if I ever renovate, I will get rid of that wall and make it one big open space. Isn't everyone in the kitchen or kitchens like the big hangout room that everyone's hanging out in all the time? Are you noticing a trend in that, seeing the larger kitchen and moving away from a dining room?
Yes, the idea of keeping the kitchen open with the eating area and the family room is still a trend, and that is still on a lot of houses. A lot of existing houses are working on their alterations and renovations, and a lot of the work is to come to open up those walls between the living room and the kitchen and the family room. we're opening up those walls so the whole area is open, things like that, adding sliding glass doors to let the air in. Some sliding glass doors we're even working on are more than just two panes. They're two panes plus like another two on the side. And I noticed they've been selling these also in different materials where you can get like a vinyl sliding door now, and it might slide three panes of windows instead of just two. So this is another idea, and that's another trend that's on a number of houses still.
And what other trends did you want to add for to today?
I think I went through a few trends. I think that covers it, and yeah, I think just talking about some other things about like the office and everything. I think since this is really like a business show and things like that, I always like to think about some things about architect offices and things. I think one thing with architect work is I have a new group that is to meet people have questions about architect work, and it's called Building Permits New York City, and it's on the meetup.com format. And so I've had that group before the COVID, and then I think since the COVID, I've had it where we meet on Zoom and Google Meet, and so I have some people who are really even outside of the U.S. that have come to this show, and I've talked to them on the Zoom, and they ask questions about things like permits, working in New York City, things like that. I think some people, one was all the way in Peru, uh, another one was all the way over in it's over in Sweden. So I have people that have been connecting on that site from all around. And a lot of it is because they're centered here in New York City. So that has been going on. I have 600 members at this point. So the group has grown over the last few years. It hasn't been too bad. And that's one medium I provide for people to come and talk about architect work, getting permits, maybe even working in the field of architecture, so or construction. So I have that available also. And one thing about business in my office is I think with professional work, there wasn't that much education in business. And I noticed one interesting thing because I was talking about on some of the other shows, like there was a big like depression in the economy in 2008, especially for construction. And I think I just was realizing that I think before the year of 2008, a lot of people in the construction industry, all kinds of different businesses, a lot of them always were looking to expand. Really, like people maybe sending someone in their family or working for them to get a business degree, things like that, to expand, become a franchise. But I noticed since 2008, I think a lot of people, they don't seem to have too many dreams of wanting to expand too much. That's just one business trend I noticed. A lot of people, they're sort of staying steady with their work. For all you know, they might be doing better overall like that. I think I noticed since 2008, you know, just staying steady, growing the business very slowly is really a good, stable idea. And but that is one trend I noticed. And I think one thing I did was really to improve my business over the last few years was like in 2012, I took a couple classes on the computer because they have the new cottage classes you could take online. And I took some classes at Santa Clara University, and since it's online, their college is all the way in California. Instead, it's all the way like over by Silicon Valley, and I have like one certificate here. It's like to take it, expand your business with so they give a couple courses there, and it was it's pretty good. I think it was very helpful. So I was able to get involved with things like that, and finding about different businesses, business ideas, and things like that were pretty good. And that has helped my business grow slowly, and that seems to have been pretty good. But that's just one trend I noticed that was happening, I think, before 2008 and then after 2008. There was sort of a overall trend in the industry that was different. I think when I was younger growing up, I think construction was really starting to boom, and I think I always heard about ideas of people wanting to really expand, become franchise and things like that. And I just noticed that change since that time, since there was a slowdown in the economy from 2008. That was very interesting.
Wow. Amazing. Um, well, and for those, new today, could you just share a little bit about your background? How you got into this, your education, and clearly all the experience you have. I mean, there's so much to you and to the company.
Yes, well, really, I started in architect work because I think when I was younger, um, they had suggested architect work as one future that I could excel at. And that is one reason why I went into that as an economic definition. And what happened was, in where I lived, there was a lot of courses involved with architect work. There was a lot of art classes that I took. Everyone had to take a lot of things like mechanical drawing.
Mm-hmm.
So since middle school, I had a lot of mechanical drawing. And I thought that was interesting. And I think when I started to go to college to get my architect degree, I noticed there was a few students who really didn't have a background in any mechanical drawing, any artwork. Very interestingly, they took a lot of business classes, I was told. They were saying they took a lot of business classes, like when they were in elementary school, middle school, high school, but they wanted to make the switch over to architect work. And I sort of knew the solution to that idea was really you'd really have to go and get some basic courses, art courses. You'd have to get like mechanical drawing courses. I think mechanical drawing is very interesting is that can go into any kind of drawing. You go into things like drawings for manufacturing, drawings for transportation. They have all the
Mm-hmm.
different aspects, civil, mechanical, electrical, architectural, then interior design. So there's a whole world of different kinds of drawing, but a lot of people start off with just a basic class. And I think one example I always like to point out is that whenever you go to architect school, they always ask each student to draw a straight line on a piece of paper. So if you
Mm-hmm.
do not have any years of art experience, the idea of drawing a straight line on a piece of paper, you might not care about drawing a straight line on a piece of paper. But they always use that as a parameter to see if you have some kind of skill in your hand to draw a straight line and things like that. I think the only way to get that experience is really to go to a school, take basic classes, non-credit classes on drawing, mechanical drawing. And of course, the
Mm-hmm.
mechanical drawing is computer drawing. And that gives you like the basic skills to do that. But that is very interesting. So that is really how I got into architect work, and it seems to work pretty good. I did have ability to do that kind of work and score high grades. They liked my work. It was very good. And so I was pretty good. I did receive a scholarship when I was in college from local AIA. I went to their meetings there, got to meet some of the architects already licensed, had offices, things like that. So I think I was on my way doing pretty good like that. And their type of offices were similar type of offices where they might have some drafters working for them and things like that. doing the same kind of construction. So I was in pretty good line to the kind of work I'm doing now, and that's how I really started to progress in school.
Well, also you do historic landmark restorations as well, right? Didn't we talk about that too?
Yes, well, I think locally here, very interesting in the borough of Metuchen, a lot of the houses they need to conform to a style that's really colonial revival. So a number of projects that I've been working on over the last number of years have been styled to really fit with a colonial revival. And another aspect, some of the aspects of the code with covered porches, garages setback, things like that. Some windows, evenly spaced windows, things like that, have all been part of the designs, particularly where my office is centered, and that is what's been going on with as far as that type of design. I think a house that is designated as historic landmark is slightly different than the type of code I'm talking about. They do have an architectural code here in the borough, and they have been requiring houses that to look more like colonial revival. But particularly a
Wow.
landmark house could be any style that is usually set to stay in place, that they really like the house, it's from long ago. And so a landmark house could be any style of house. It might not even be the same style as the adjacent houses. And so a landmark house, I've worked on a number of landmark houses. They're very good projects, and they do have to conform to that particular style house that was built on just that property. And that sometimes involves some research. You have to take some history books, architectural history books, really go through all the different aspects of the detailing of the house, which is interesting. And then from that, a lot of times there's some things involved with historic, what we call historic restoration. Old materials that might have been rotted away, they have to replace them
Wow.
with materials, particularly windows that are going to match the old-fashioned styling, old-fashioned way of making windows, things like that, and particularly moldings. Moldings on old landmark houses was very important. They always want to see that the molding style matches the old molding, and that involves really matching of the old molding, which could be difficult. It might involve very expensive manufacturing of old-fashioned moldings, things like that, and that is what's involved with just a basic landmark property. So
Got it.
that's what's been going on as far as landmark houses, things like that.
Awesome. Wow. Well, we still got 4 minutes left on the show here, John. What else do you want to share about you, your firm, the work you're doing, any trends, or, with the process of working with an architect and why it's important? I'm not
But
sure.
I think I'm on the personal end. Yeah, I think this year, as far as my own things, I was involved as president of the PTA, my daughter's school, and she's graduating this year. So I was working on that, and I'm attending the national PTA convention. They need us there to vote on different things. So I've been doing that, and so that is pretty good. And otherwise, I think since we last talked a while ago, my office has expanded. I now have a whole floor here. I have two W-2 employees, so things are going very nicely. And there's no recession right now. Things seem to be pretty busy, and we've been really working hard on getting all the work and things like that. Things have been growing very nicely, so that's pretty good. And of course, staying in touch with the center of New York City, Manhattan, is
Yeah.
also very important. And so that has been working very nicely.
Wow. And you clearly love what you do. My goodness, you do a lot. I mean, how many other people work with you in the office? Are you strictly the one and only architect? Do you have architects that work with you as well?
And no, I usually have people who are really my assistants working with me. And I
Okay.
am the only licensed architect in the office. When it comes to things like engineering, there are some engineers in the area that with the contractor and the owner are hired to work on the jobs. And a lot of times I coordinate with them on projects that require our engineer services, things like that. And
Amazing.
so that is really how my office works.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. It's pretty fantastic, all the work you do. And so we have some more episodes coming up. I love this. We're doing Zooms. What is there to preview? What else are we going to be talking about on our next journey together, John?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put together really nice shows for you.
I'm sure. I'm sure. And for people at home, listening and tuning in who are interested in residential, you also do commercial work as well, right?
Yes, of course.
There's so much to you. So if you're listening, oh my goodness. And I know you mentioned the tri-state, but also, I mean, do you do work other states outside of this area?
Yes, well, I'm licensed in New York City, New York,
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey, where my office is, and Pennsylvania. I'm licensed in the state of Pennsylvania, and I
Wow.
can work in any state. I'm
Oh my
available to work in any
goodness.
state, provided there's good work there. I can work in any state and work in any project.
Wow. Well, we are so excited to have you back on board. Would you mind sharing the best form and all forms of contact for you again?
Sure, you can find me on my webpage. It's www.johnriggio.com. That's www.johnriggio.com. And there you'll find my contact information, email, phone number. You'll see my portfolio, descriptions of my work, and you can contact me from my webpage. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Awesome.
You're
Check out the
welcome.
work on the website. Check out what he does, and we'll be in touch soon, right?
Yes,
Thank you
okay,
again.
great.
Have a fantastic day. And to all of our listeners, stay tuned. More John to come right after the break.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.